based on the practice drills. And since I had a question about counting factors, I can investigate that even further. So the practice drills are on the 20 different lesson and practice drill topics, but they really break out into 30 plus math question topics. And that I can investigate further, again under my reports, in the skills by category, which is not one of the new features there. This has been there for quite a while, but it's worth reviewing. So I would look at all the categories of quizzes I've taken. How did I do in factors? And I would select, not fractions, I would select factors from the drop-down and show me my report. At which point I would see I had a series of 100%. I had a couple outliers down at 0, which we did see before. And again, let's assume for a second they're outliers. But I had a number of scores from 73 to 80 to 67 to 50%. And what this is listing all the exams that have that category of questions on them. And the ones with results, percentage scores here are the ones I've actually taken. So again, this sort of reinforces the idea in the last graphs we saw that maybe I do need to put in a little work on counting factors as one category. And it seems there weren't too many categories, which is not surprising for a student that would be on target for Stuyvesant. And again, though, if your scores were lower and you needed to bring them up, you'd probably find there are more categories and get more value even out of the reports you're seeing. These are, in a nutshell, quick reports that allow you to assess where you are, diagnose areas for improvement, and hopefully get you to study more within a particular category of questions, or ask more questions, use the Q&A wall more often, or maybe conclude that, quite frankly, I need more help. I need to look toward a more formalized tutoring course, which again we offer as well. The tutorial course, aside from having the obvious benefits of a live tutor all the way up to your exam date to help you out, be there, answer questions, teach you, it is far more organized and structured with the material and provides a fair bit more material. So for example, there were 30 question categories roughly on the math side. The tutorial course provides diagnostics on over 60 skill categories, not problem categories, but skill categories on mathematics required by the SH-SAT exam. And even there are probably more. We've had to take some related skills and really consolidate them into one skill set to keep it a reasonable number for you to follow and track. The course is set up, as you can see, with the various lessons. And within each lessons, you have diagnostic exams for each of the various categories of skill sets. Those related to each lesson have to be completed before moving on to the next lesson. In essence, we'll make sure you have no holes in your training and development. And if you do, by the time you're done, you will have filled those holes and demonstrated the ability to understand and answer different difficulty levels of questions within every category covered on the SH-SAT exam. So, for example, go into lesson 1. You have study material not available just from our classes, but you can also reference Khan Academy and other popular written material. You can work on the core subscription practice drills. We've organized the related ones for each lesson, and track your results on the diagnostic exams to see out of a level of 5, and just for your understanding, the diagnostic exams are not scored on a percentage or raw score basis. They are scored by level of skill. So you have to pass 5 levels of skill within each math topic or category before you prove that you have mastered and can handle all the material within that category of questions. So as you'll see, some results are 5. The student has probably passed those, and some are lower. For example, like decimal operations. They started off or are currently at a lower score, and you can see those results for all the skill sets required of lesson 1. So let's look at a little more detail of the diagnostic exams required to pass Lesson 1. Again, you'll see a table with all your results, and like any of the table material, you can save it off as a PDF, print it, or download it to an Excel if you need to manipulate the data. Perhaps you had some crazy scores or something you need to pull out and then make a calculation on. You have the option to do that. And you can, of course, filter and sort any of the tables. And you'll see the same chart as before, which can be adjusted. So, for example, I might want to sort by my level of score, points, from 0 to 5 to see which topics did I start at a very low level. And I can see, in this case, it's fractions and decimal operations at 1. And which ones I passed at 5. And it looks like decimal operations, for example, I have passed. So I obviously improved from 1 to 5. And you can see that very clearly because now within all those 60 plus categories, we break out your initial or minimum score and your maximum most recent score. And if you've passed that category, your maximum score is level 5, as it is for this student here. And you can see in the black bars the levels of improvement for every particular category. So for this student, even who's a qualified student potentially to get into a Stuyvesant, you can see there is a great deal of improvement, a number of the black bars, where they were helped out on the tutorial course Diagnostics. And they can quickly zero in, as you see, on which areas they improved on, and we'll see which areas they need to improve on if they don't have already maximum scores of level 5. So this is a great way in the diagnostics to really see how you're doing, drill down into more detail, effectively twice as much detail as the core subscription, and you'll have to follow the organized, structured course plan to complete it. Really, there's no other tool or service like this in any tutorial course that I'm aware of. So that's just a quick background on what you can expect to see, in this case from the tutorials. So I hope you enjoyed it. Best of luck. We look forward to seeing you in class.